In today's video, I'm going to share with you the insights I've gained over the past 23 months building AI agents for other businesses and doing also one-on-one coachings in my daily consulting works. I will share with you my learnings and my mistakes so you can skip them. So let's get started. First, let me give you a short introduction to AI agents if you are new to AI agents. What are AI agents? So basically they are LLMs with the ability to take actions. Just think of it like ChatGPT with a bunch of tools in the backend to do actual stuff for you or your business. They can also obviously automate tasks. They are built for automations to increase efficiency and productivity. They can basically be triggered either by a chat interface like with ChatGPT. They can be scheduled agents, so do something at this and this time of the day, every day or every week. And also can be triggered by events on software you are using within your business. Like something happens in Slack, trigger this workflow to do something automatically in the background. Same goes for Gmail. You receive an email, which triggers then automatically an AI sequence. To the current environment of AI agents, there are currently various platforms that are emerging, whether they are code solutions like Crew AI, LangGraph, AutoGen was an early one, which is not really popular anymore, but it's still out there, obviously, managed by Microsoft. And each of them has its strengths and weaknesses. And more there are no-code and low-code solutions like N8N, one of my favorites, and Flowise, and many more. There are obviously pros and cons to each of them. If you want to use LangGraph or Crew AI, you obviously need to know how to code. And then there are those no-code platforms that at times limit you at what you can actually build or the way you want to build it with them. So you have to rely on them to bring up new updates in the software. Next, the tech stack. It's surprising to me and almost shocking to see especially in my one-on-one calls, coaching calls, and so many developers just rely on one tool, basically want a one-size-fits-all solution or platform to build AI agents and automations. But in my experience, that's not the case. You need to be flexible. You need to be open-minded and constantly learn new frameworks, new methods to build AI agents. So in the background, I constantly try new libraries and frameworks and platforms out to see if it's better than what I'm using right now. So currently, what I'm using, or what my personal favorite tech stack is Cursor AI when I have to build some highly customized AI agents, especially if it's a SaaS development project. When a customer wants either implement AI agents in an existing software, in their own software basically, and also if they want me to build a new SaaS solutions. Then I have to use code. But even then, I like to use AI, and Cursor is really interesting when it comes to writing custom code. But I also experimented with Windsurf in the past couple of days. It was released last week, I guess, which has interesting features like the context awareness in Windsurf seems to be better than in Cursor, but then it lacks in other features like the web search functionality or adding documents to your code editor like in Cursor. Then my next favorite tool is obviously N8N, which I like to use for back-end or back-office automations. One major benefit of N8N is obviously its 500 plus connections to established tools like Google, Microsoft, Excel, Slack, CRM, and so on. So it comes super handy if you need to connect your AI agents to those tools. But the UI is super simple and just doesn't look good if it's an outward-facing AI agent. then I wouldn't recommend n8n in the front end. For that, I like to use Flowise AI, especially if I want to build more complex AI agents than with n8n. I go back to Flowise AI, which comes with supervised and sequential AI agents. And the UI is definitely prettier than in n8n. So basically, to sum it up, new SaaS or new software built with agentic features, I have to write custom code. If I want to automate backend tasks like triggered by Gmail, trigger a sequence of automations in the backend, or I build outward facing, so basically an FAQ chatbot, which will be placed on a website of a customer or client, then I use Flowise AI, but also for building more complex agents, but with no code/low code, which covers most of the cases when it comes to building AI agents, at least in my experience. So next, the most popular AI agent solutions. In my consulting and development work, some AI agent solutions are widely requested across multiple industries, while there are others, obviously, industry-specific ones. So the most common ones are email agents, just to automate your emails, like labeling them, writing drafts, and some want the AI to just automatically write some responses and send them automatically. I personally prefer to let the AI agent write a draft so a human can go over it and give it the okay and send it manually. But at least the tedious task when it comes to emails is handled by the AI. Next, CRM agents. Basically, build an AI agent that is connected to a tool like HubSpot, where you can chat with it, or again, is triggered by some actions on the platform like HubSpot. And the agent has multiple tools connected to HubSpot to do X, Y, Z on that platform, whatever it is you want the AI agent to do for you. Next, a really popular one is FAQ agents or chatbots that are placed on websites, obviously. We built them in a way that they answer website visitors' questions instead of them to scrolling all the way down and reading the FAQs. They have an interactive experience on a website where the agent or the AI answers FAQ questions and also sets appointments. So you can build the agent in a way that after answering all the questions of a user or potential future customer, it collects its contact data. So your sales team can contact them later on. Next, which is a really popular agent, is a employees co-pilot agent. Basically, it's a AI agent with a knowledge base, a vector database in this case, also called RAG, attached to it. So it has all the knowledge your employees would need within your business. So they don't have to come to you or to whatever supervisor or middle management position and ask, how should I do this? How should I do that? So for that, we built AI agents or co-pilot agents for employees to answer specific questions or how to proceed and how to do it within that organization. There's one misconception when it comes to co-pilots. We usually don't recommend building them as or having access to all the data within the organization. Usually multiple co-pilots for different departments, like for accounting, which the agent has access only to accounting data. Then another one for the marketing department, another one for operations. Next, content agents, obviously, for writing blog posts, creating copy for ads, or just social media posts. And there are different agents for strategy or for planning of an ads campaign or a content management, content marketing campaign, but also just the copywriter that are automatically creating content, either on a schedule or if topic is provided, like I did in one of my tutorials in the past. And another one is software integrations. Obviously, there's a lot of existing software out there in the world that need to be automated or need AI agentic features in them. So in this case, we have to go into the code base or read the code base, understand the code base and build a custom AI agent for an existing software. Next is the importance of data. Data is obviously the lifeblood of AI agents. The training data is limited usually to 2023, and there are obviously cases where you want a specialized agent with special data. So data can enhance the quality of an AI agent dramatically. And when it comes to data, I see a couple of misconceptions, which are huge. First of all, people just want to dump data into a knowledge base, like 100 or 1,000 of PDFs, dump them in and let the AI chat with it. You can go to YouTube and will see a lot of tutorials, chat with your PDFs. That's not it. You have to do pre-processing if you want really good outcome or expect really good outcome of your AI agent, if there's a knowledge base attached to it. So instead of just dumping pure PDFs or raw PDFs into your agent, you can pre-process the data in a way that you basically format it in question and answers. If you want some specific outcome from the agent, let's say you want to build a consultation agent, which does some consultancy. You don't just dump in the PDFs and expect the agent to retrieve some answer from the PDF, but the answer might be on multiple pages or partially on multiple pages of the PDF. So it will give you just a half-baked answer instead of formatting the data into basically Q&A. So if question A is raised by a human, then here's the answer. And that's a combined answer of fully and comprehensive answer that would cover everything, because vector databases or the knowledge base for AI agents are basically chunked. So you chunk them in smaller sizes and the agent will just retrieve one chunk at a time. So if you ask it something and you want the agent to retrieve the data, it will just search for similarity or find the specific data, and it will find one chunk and say, okay, here's the answer to it. But in reality, it might be just a partial answer to the question of the user that uses the AI agent. So that's a huge mistake I see. People just wanting to insert raw data instead of pre-processing the data, taking your time and formatting in a better readable format than PDFs like Markdown or JSON format, so the agent can efficiently retrieve the data and format the chunks of the agent in a way that gets all the answers with one database search basically, rather than going back and forth and then it has to go back and search the second part of the answer, let's say, instead of finding it in one chunk. So there's also experimentation and trial and error in chunking size. You can size the chunks. You want just a chunk be 1,000 of tokens or more or less, depending on the actual data. So you have to there's more work that goes into the data aspect of building an AI agent than many think. Next is prompt engineering. It's definitely huge. Prompt engineering can improve the outcome or the output of an agent dramatically by being super specific with your prompt. Obviously, if you use ChatGPT or saw someone else use ChatGPT, usually prompt the agent or LLM, the chatbot or ChatGPT, write me a blog post about XYZ. That's not specific enough for the AI. A more professional approach would be giving clear objectives, what you want the AI agent to write for you. What's the goal? Then you can give relevant context. Again, if it's something new, which is not in the training data of the LLM, it won't give you a satisfying response. So you can add to your prompt relevant context. Then specific instructions. Let's take again the blog post prompt. Instead of just saying, write me a blog post, 1,500 words or a blog post about XYZ, you can be super specific with instructions like, should it be SEO optimized or not? If SEO optimized, consider H1 text, H2 text, keywords in the first paragraph, in the title. So you can go super specific with the prompt, which make the output so much better than just typing in one line. And obviously, me in my tutorials also just use super simple one to keep the tutorials I made super simple instead of going really into depth with it. So just keep in mind, after building your AI agent, you have to experiment with the prompts. Trial and error, A/B test your prompt to get the best out of your AI agent. Also, you can mention output requirements. In what form do you want the output from the agent? Should it be a JSON format? Should it be a Markdown format? Be specific about your output requirements. What do you want the AI agent to output for you? And you can also give examples or references, which will make the prompt way better than just, again, a 1 or 2 line prompt to the AI agent. Because the AI agent is basically the smartest, dumbest entity ever built. So it has so much information, at times really smart, and then you think, how dumb are you actually? So that's it to the prompt engineering part. Next, tools and integrations. Obviously, tools empower agents to take actions and interact with different systems or with the world in general, right? You have to give your agent, your LLM, tools. Otherwise, it's just like ChatGPT, AI assistant, which is fine. They have their place in the world, but we are talking here about AI agents, and AI agents need basically virtual arms and legs, and that's the tools and integrations. Tools you are already using in your business, like your CRM, like your website builder, if it's WordPress, like it's your email provider, right? Whatever tools you use, most or almost all established software people and businesses use have APIs, and that's what you have to integrate to your AI agent. It's basically the programmatic connection to existing software, and for that case is N8N definitely something I really enjoy, because they have so many pre-built tools where you just authenticate them once, and the authentication is saved on N8N, so you don't have to do it manually every single time. Another misconception when it comes to tools and integrations is you just have to give the agent one integration or one access to the tool. But in reality, API calls have different purposes. So get or post, do you want something? Retrieve, email is different than write an email. So you have to equip the agent with multiple tools of that one tool even, like in HubSpot. Get XYZ data, add XYZ data to your CRM. That's just something I encounter again and again. So just keep that in mind. Next is the architectural considerations. When it comes to designing effective systems for AI agents, these systems require thoughtful planning. Or it's not just build something. You have to plan them beforehand and make them task or function specific. So many times I get the request, can we just build one agent that does everything for me? And I have to explain that that's not the best way to do it as of now. We don't have artificial general intelligence. It's still narrow AI we are dealing with here. They are super good in language-based tasks, but not in reasoning. And the context length is also a limitation of current state of the tech. So what do I mean by that? As previously mentioned in the prompt engineering, you have to be super specific agents for specific tasks with specific tools. So I have a tool for Gmail, another agent for my Google Sheets, or you could just build them for one suite of tools. Like I have a Google agent that handles all the tools I use, like Sheets, like Docs, like my Gmail account. And that's fine, but you shouldn't mix it and also give it your, let's say, the Gmail agent or your Google agent also access to your HubSpot, so your CRM or whatever tools you are using, right? If I have a Slack agent, I usually have a sophisticated Slack agent with sophisticated and specific prompt instructions for that tool. So just think of it more like you have employees for every single small task. So rather than have one agent that does everything, you want tens and hundreds of agents working for you simultaneously, which will give you a way better experience and outcome of your AI agents. So in short, breaking down tasks into smaller and manageable steps will improve the efficiency of the AI agent. Next, we have demos and production deployment. A common misconception is creating simple demos with production-ready systems. And I'm guilty of that too. Obviously, in my how-to tutorials, when I show you how to build an agent, it's super simplified. The prompt is super simple. The The individual steps could be improved, and I don't show you how to A/B test basically the whole system. It's not just building the system, it's also testing it afterwards. Other critical aspects often overlooked. It's managing the chat ID. You obviously don't want that the AI agent confuses different chats with either different customers of yours or with different employees. When one employee asks something, you don't want the mixed chat context of them both. So you have to attach a chat ID. So the no-code tools automatically do that, but if it comes to custom code, you have to consider chat ID. So the AI agent is capable of separating different chats. Next is handling security and also ensuring compliant hosting. I again and again have cases where regulatory requirements are stricter in some regions. Example is Europe. In North America, I guess California have stricter rules when it comes to privacy. So you have to make sure that regulations don't prevent or prohibit the use of the agent you are building. So just keep that in mind or consult with a professional lawyer. And again, when it comes to production, you have to conduct A/B testing for every step of your AI agent. It's not just like on the YouTube videos where something is a proof of concept agent. For example, many tutorials or many agent frameworks use supervised agent frameworks or systems, which place a supervisor on top of tools and other agents. So you have one supervisor talks to other agents and tools within the AI agent system if it's a multi-agent system, right? That looks nice on YouTube on demonstrations, but it's not production ready in my opinion. So just keep that in mind. I rather prefer sequential agents where I have better controllability of each step, what the agent should do, instead of relying on a supervisor agent, which basically delegates tasks, which first of all takes longer than a sequential agent, which will increase the latency of the responses of your AI agent if you use it in a chat interface, which is suboptimal. And also supervised agents increase the error rate. So it's not practical in real world. It's, again, a proof of concept that you can use agents in that way, but I don't think the LLMs, the brain, basically the AI, is not there yet. So I wouldn't rely on supervised systems. I prefer sequential agents for reliability. Next, we have continuous improvement and maintenance. Another misconception is treating AI agents like build once and forget systems, which they are not. You have to continuously improve them, update your tools, basically the APIs, or if there's a new model, you have to manually go into the system and update the model to get either a better quality of the agent or decrease the cost. Most of the time, even both. If OpenAI, for example, releases a new model, they usually get cheaper and better. So you have to go in manually and do the changes. The agent won't do it itself. And another thing is people think, okay, you build it once and then that's it. No, it's not. There's constantly some improvement potential. You can constantly, we build something and the client over time asks, hey, the thought was okay, but we just saw that it would be better if we can structure the agent in a different way for our specific needs, which then you have to go in and update and optimize it for the new scenario or the new circumstances. So just keep that in mind. It's not just a build once and forget. It's a kind of living organism. You have to improve it and you have to build it. You have to grow with it. And also just the ongoing monitoring to ensure that the effectiveness remains over time. We had some cases early on, beginning of this year, where counted, okay, it first worked even after all our tests, but over time counted, hey, it just works 80% of the time, which is in a real world scenario can be really costly. So just keep that in mind. You can't just let it out in the world and think, okay, it will handle itself. No. You have to think of it, because if businesses integrate AI agents, there could be potentially huge errors or mistakes that would cost the business a lot of money. So we don't want that, obviously. Keep that in mind. Next, cost and returns of AI agents. Let me give you a simple no-code example of an AI agent we usually build or often build. Let me give you an example of what the cost could look like. So let's say we use a no-code solution. Then when it comes to the development costs, I prefer using n8n for being able to self-host it. So I don't use their cloud version, which costs, I guess, $35 or $25. I just self-hosted a simple one for just $7 a month. Hosting both Flowise and n8n, let's say on Render, and I'm not affiliated with them, would just cost you $25 instead of paying for each $25. And you own your software, basically. You own your AI agents. You don't rely on their cloud version. So if we build, let's say we build a no-code customer support agent that handles customer support requests. At the lower end, starts at $3,000, which would be the development costs of such an agent system. If we attach a database to it, a vector database basically, let's say we use Pinecone, which usually costs not more than $50 a month for a small scale solution, which covers most text-based data easily. And then when it comes to the API cost, basically the LLM cost, say we implement OpenAI and use GPT-4o, costs currently $250 for 1 million input tokens. So that would be your request to the agent and the system prompt we send to the OpenAI API. That counts as the input tokens. And the output tokens is obviously the output we get from the AI. So let's say as an example, we use 1 million as the input and 1 million for the output, which 1 million tokens is around about 750K in words. So that's a bunch. Would come to $12.50 a month, even if you have 10 million. So you can count that the variable costs for the API cost is relatively low and will definitely decrease over time, since it did over the past couple of months, or the year I should say. So then what would be the total initial cost? In this example with a no-code option would range from $3,000 to $5,000 for a more complex agent. And the long-term savings in this example, let's say before the AI, you have a customer service agent, a human, earns $20 an hour, works full-time, 160 hours a month, would equate to $3,200 a month. After AI, an AI agent that handles 70% of inquiries would left the human agent need only 48 hours a month for the rest of the more complex customer support requests, which we would have to delegate to a human, would equate to a cost of $960 a month for that human. So as you can see here, the savings would be $2,240 a month if you would replace the full-time human employee with the AI agent. The ROI, so the return of investment on your initial, let's say $4,000 investment, pays off in less than 2 months. And that's just one agent. And just think of, you have tens or hundreds of AI agents working for you 24/7. Guys, if you're enjoying this content and want to dive deeper into building AI agents, join my newsletter, where I share exclusive tips, tutorials and insights every week. Perfect for everyone looking to master AI agents. So check the link in the description and sign up if you'd like to get more insights about AI agents and my personal opinions about the current state of agents. And last but not least, future outlooks. What I do think about near future of AI agents. I definitely see that voice capabilities in AI agents will definitely be more popular. OpenAI just announced or released a couple of weeks ago the real-time API, which is still pretty expensive, but it's definitely an option for production to handle all the phone tasks. Like you could have an AI phone agent that handles outbound calls or inbound calls. Let's say a plumber is not reachable by phone, the AI agent could come in and answer those calls for you and basically capture more leads than such a plumber would lose because he wasn't reachable. And around 2025 and 2026, I think AI agents will go way more mainstream. We even see it in tools like Stripe just announced or released their payment agents. So you can now equip your agent with Stripe API and connections to handle payments for you. Like you could have a travel agent that not just finds online the best offers for flights, let's say, but also is capable of actually paying for it after you give it the okay. Obviously, you should keep still security measures in place. And yeah, I think you will see that there will be small businesses or solo entrepreneurs using hundreds, if not thousands of AI agents, which will replace many tasks human employees would do. So you could be a small team or single solopreneur that have agents that work for him or her 24/7, which will give you a huge advantage compared to your competitors. And as Sam Altman said, there will be one-person billion-dollar companies. Maybe not 2025 or 2026, but definitely sometime in the future. So we should definitely embrace it. And yeah, I'm super excited about AI agents. Still, it's just the beginning. Guys, future looks super bright. So let's keep learning and developing together. So I hope this was valuable. That's it for today. AI agent out.